Good evening and welcome to News Hour. I am Kojo Kwafu. Coming up in tonight's edition of News Hour, State Council continue to lead witnesses at the ongoing commissions of inquiry, and the Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation bags awards for outstanding media contribution to national development. All these stories and more, including sports and African news, are coming up in tonight's edition of News Hour. Commission witness Assistant Superintendent of Police Lansana Vandi has told the Commission of Inquiry that the youth village at Mongo Village in Koinadugu district is surrounded by bush. The testimony follows recent visit by a team of police officers attached to the Commission of Inquiry to the project site to assess the youth village that accounts for huge sums of money. Princess Gibson was at Commission 64, presided over by Commissioner Biobel Judgewell.
Led in evidence by State Counsel Oladipo Robin Mason, Assistant Superintendent of Police attached to the Commission, said the team visited the project site at Mongo along the Kabbalah Highway to verify the existence of the youth village. He said the team saw an unfinished building with a shanty structure referred to as the youth village. The team, he said, later visited the paramount chief, who explained that he was contacted by the former Minister of Youth Affairs, Almami Kamara, who promised to pay 2.5 billion loans as compensation for the land to construct a youth village. The paramount chief disclosed that the sum of 1 billion loans was paid for the land where the youth village was to be built later by the man who succeeded Honorable Almami Kamara as youth minister by Mahmoud Bangura, whom he said deducted 300 million loans as commission for bringing the project to the district.
The minister by Mahmoud, who succeeded Almami, handed over a check of 1 billion loans out of 1 billion loans.
Is it difficult to pronounce billion?
No, it's not difficult.
But you have been pronouncing like million.
No, I said billion. It's not million. I said billion.
Yes, go over into that portion.
Out of the said amount, the minister by Mahmoud Bangura, who succeeded Almami Kamara, handed over a check of 1 billion loans. Out of this money, he was mandated to give back 300 million to them as their own share. Later, due to political reasons,
the contractor, according to the witness, started construction but could not finish, resulting to the bad shape of the youth village as a result of abandonment. The witness was cross-examined by defense counsel Ibrahim Mansare, who raised lack of funds as factor for the implementation of the project. Also at Commission 64, Chief Engineer Maintenance Department SLRA Alfred Khaled Momodu has told the Commission of Inquiry that the SLRA was not involved in the implementation of the Youth in Drainage project. According to documents tendered in evidence by the state, the Sierra Leone Roads Authority should have certified the Youth in Drainage project, identified the scope of work, and payment done through them. This, according to Engineer Momodu, was not the case. Commission 64 has been adjourned to the 1st of April. Princess Gibson, SLBC News.
Commissioner for Customs National Revenue Authority Sahid Conte has made his first appearance before Commissioner Bankole Thompson of Commission number 65 at the ongoing Commissions of Inquiry. Let's now join Maya Masuma for the report.
Commission witness 14 Said Conte Commissioner National Revenue Authority tendered customs-related documents for the clearance of fertilizers from 2014 to 2017. The documents were tendered as Exhibit AP1 to 55, and they represent clearance of all fertilizers imported in the country from 2014 to 2017. Commission witness 14 Said Conte said his responsibility is to take control and provide quality administrative guidelines for the payment of taxes. In his examination in chief, State Counsel Robert Skowa asked the witness to properly explain Exhibit A1. The witness responded that according to their records, the description of goods is NPK 0-2020. The quantity received is $2,387,000 for the first consignment, $19,800 and $13,000 for the second consignment, and $19,800 for the third consignment. On the duties and taxes paid, the witness continued that for the first consignment, $33,916.87 was paid. The second consignment, $32,962.02, and the final one is $32,940.42,000. For the invoice values according to the records, $398,973.59,000 for the first consignment. For the second, $387,740.41,000, and the final one is $387,486.00,000. He informed the Commission that all three consignments were originated from Belgium. Persons of Interest Counsel Lansana Doumbouya objected that the way State Counsel was asking the witness was prejudicial to the Commission. He said the questions were leading and that the witness was only called to tender his document, not to talk about the country the goods originated from. Commissioner Bankole Thompson responded that the method is appropriate for cross-examination as well as addresses, and that at this stage it is important for the Commission to uncover everything in the Commission. He added that the witness is under oath and is sworn to tell the truth, and that under cross-examination, the defense counsel will be given the opportunity to vigorously interview the witness based on the document. The commission is adjourned to Monday with expectation of seeing one of the former witnesses, former Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Agriculture and Forestry. SLBC News, Mariam Masuma reporting.
The National Youth-Led Award, Sierra Leone, has awarded the Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation, SLBC, as an outstanding media institution of the year. And SLBC's presenter Asmi Ba as an outstanding TV presenter at the Broadcasting House at New Englandville. Nendiwa Thonka has more.
The National Youth-Led Award Sierra Leone has existed for the past years. Now SLBC was part of the institution that received this year's awards. The Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation was awarded as the Outstanding Media Institution of the Year, and one of its television presenters, Asmi Uba, as an outstanding TV presenter in recognition of their valuable contribution towards the empowerment of young people and the development of Sierra Leone. Informing SLBC about the award, the Information and Communication Manager of the organization, Tambadin, said they had a panel that ratified individuals and institutions. The Chief Executive Officer and Chairman of the National Youth-Led Award Sierra Leone, Mohamed Kuruma, on behalf of the organization, handed over the award to the Director of Administration and Human Resource of the SLBC, Reverend Lucien Ganda, for the institution, and Asmi Uba for an outstanding TV presenter, as SLBC did not attend the award ceremony. The Director of Administration and Human Resource, Reverend Lucien Ganda, lauded them for the work and strongly believed that it was because of the hard work of the institution towards the development of the country made them achieve the award. She promised not to disappoint them, but to continue their good work as she handed the award over to the head of media and public affairs, Ransford Kabir. Director of Media and Public Affairs, Ransford Kabir, said it was a deserving award as SLBC is always ready to serve the people of Sierra Leone. He called on them to continue their good work. Receiving his award, Asmi Uba assured members of the National Youth-led Award Sierra Leone that he will live up to their expectation and will not disappoint the young people. Asmi Uba presents the podium on television.
The consultant engineer, George Lamin Vande, has presented to the Minister of Transport and Aviation the proposed structure of the Maritime Search and Rescue Coordinating Center to be constructed in Banff District. According to engineer Vande, the proposed structure will be a two-storied building with a ship shape to house maritime facilities and staff for search and rescue purposes at sea. Dorin Barry reports.
As Maritime Administration places sea safety as topmost priority, the presentation of the proposed structure is coming at a time when President Bill is optimistic and determined to change the landscape of maritime in the country. The proposed structure will be a two-story building with a ship shape that will be housing staff, offices, CCTV cameras, and ICT facilities. With Banff being a touristic town, the building will have a semblance of touristic view. The consultant engineer for the project on Maritime Search and Rescue Coordinating Center, George Lamin Vande, said that 2 land sites have been identified for the said construction, but one is more suitable and cheaper. He said that the reason for not choosing the other land is as a result of lack of jetty and high cost involved in undertaking the project on the said land. He said that the building will portray the brand of Maritime Administration, which is ship and fish, and will be constructed to meet international standards. Executive Director of the Maritime Administration, Ken Philip Sondai, said that the project on Search and Rescue Coordinating Center was developed 11 years ago but was not implemented. He said that the construction of the Search and Rescue Coordinating Center will help the maritime meet the global best practices on sea safety measures. He said that apart from the structure, plans are underway to purchase a boat that will be used in their search and rescue patrols. He said that the facilities will serve the entire coastal line and beyond. The Minister of Transport and Aviation, Kabine Kalon, said that the project on Search and Rescue Coordinating Center is part of President Bio's vision to change and improve maritime status in the country. He commended the team of engineers for their efforts for completing the first phase of the project. He promised them of his ministry's support and contributions for a successful project.
The Right to Access Information Commission has held a stakeholders forum on proactive disclosure of information. The roundtable discussions, which took place at the Family Kingdom Resort Conference Room, attracted officials from ministries, departments and agencies. There's a poor level of compliance by public authorities in proactively disclosing information. Sheila Refel filed in this report.
Environmental Protection Agency, Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education, Statistics Sierra Leone and Sierra Leone Police are the 4 MDAs that were able to meet the March 1st deadline for the proactive disclosure of information. The establishment of the Rights to Access Information Commission in 2014 generated a lot of interest from the demand side of the process, namely citizens, persons with disabilities, women, youth, civil society organizations, and development partners who remained concerned about getting access to vital information as a way to effectively and efficiently corruption and promote service delivery. The chairman, Rights to Access Information Commission, Dr. Ibrahim Segashaw, said some of the reasons for the commission is to promote transparency, accountability, and good governance. He said the commission had earlier held a disclosure session wherein they engaged 80 participants from MDAs to submit proactive publication scheme and to allay their fear on the area of protection and confidentiality.
To take the message, cascade the message down to their various MDAs, to their other employees, to their directors, to respect the deadline, the March 1 deadline. But unfortunately, what happened was that the March 1 deadline came recently, and we observed that only a few MDAs.
The Deputy Minister of Information and Communications, Solomon Jamiu, said the Proactive Disclosure Forum aims at facilitating supply and demand-side data training, which will develop and finalize the proactive publication scheme for all ministries, departments, and agencies. Citizens, he said, have the right to have access.
The information, the resources that are at our disposal, we hold them for and on behalf of the people of Sierra Leone. When the people demand information, we have to put those information into the public domain. It is their right. They must have access to that information. We have a duty. We owe the public a duty. It's a legal duty. Now that we have a statute, it's now beyond a moral or an ethical obligation.
Permanent Secretary in the Office of the Chief Minister, Nancy Tengbe, said the Rights to Access Information Commission is among commissions that are of top most priority to the Office of the Chief Minister. She therefore said that all ministries, departments, and agencies should ensure that they comply with the Commission on the disclosure scheme. Madam Tengbe asked all MDAs to meet the second deadline, which is on 30th May 2019, and that failure to disclosure information will not be treated lightly.
In line with SDG 16, government has demonstrated its commitment and capability to deliver high-level services to the citizens of this country by establishing and strengthening the capacity of good governance institutions, MDAs, etc.
MDAs promised to meet the second deadline, which is May 30. The 4 MDAs that have made their disclosures were lauded and encouraged to continue, while those who did not were urged to comply. SLBC, Sheila Reful.
The Ministry of Information and Communications has held a day's symposium on cybersecurity strategy with partners across Africa. The aim of the symposium was to discuss the country's national cybersecurity strategy draft, provide feedback on the text, identify opportunities to involve stakeholders in the process of validation and implementation of the strategy. The symposium took place at the Ministry's conference hall at UA Building in Freetown. Sheila Reful reports.
Cabinet in 2016 adopted a national cybersecurity policy in Sierra Leone. The policy will help to mitigate the menace created by social media. The issue of sending nude photos via WhatsApp and Facebook will be curtailed. The Global Cybersecurity Capacity Center undertook a review of the maturity of cybersecurity capacity in Sierra Leone in 2016 through the collaboration with the International Telecommunications Union. Executive Director, Africa Cybersecurity and Digital Rights Organization, Kenneth Adu Amanlo, made mention of Africa region threat landscape, which include South Africa, Ghana, and other African countries. I spoke about the cost of cybercrime in Africa between 2012 to 2016. The work of the African Union on cybersecurity assessment. 90% of African businesses were operating below the cybersecurity. Minister of Information and Communication Mohamed Ramanswari said that the world is going digital and cybercrime is not powerfully related to the government. Most people are online and government is working towards having legislations on cybersecurity very soon. He spoke about the reasons for holding the workshop in the country.
So we are here today to review the cybersecurity strategy so that we make it alive and kicking, it's able to react and to address current and emerging challenges facing us in the sector. So that is why we have brought all of you here so that we could together share ideas, cross-fertilize experiences, so that at the end of the day, we have the best possible strategy that will stand the test of times.
The objective of this review was to gain an understanding of cyber security capacity in order to strategically prioritize further investments in capacity. SLBC, Sheila Reful.
Orange remains committed to keeping its valued customers ahead through the provision of the latest technologies, along with reliable and superior network quality. Well, this is according to the Chief Executive Officer of Orange Sierra Leone, Aminata Kane. She made a statement at the official launching of the Orange The Real broadband internet service at the Bintumani Hotel, Aberdeen. Marama Suma reports.
The launching of the Orange The Real 4G is to complement the Orange Digital Revolution in February 2019, which saw the reduction of data tariff by 50%. According to Orange officials, with the digital revolution, customers are assured of the high-speed broadband mobile internet and an unmatched life-changing experience that will put the digital communication completely in control. Keynote speaker, Minister of Information and Communications, Mohamed Rahman Soare, said that the new direction government recognizes the importance of telecommunication in the country as it provides broadband internet service for the people. The minister said President Bio made a pledge to use ICT as pathway to development in the country. He added that as a ministry, they have taken a step to ensure that they create the enabling environment for private sector investors.
This is the engine that everybody requires, both in government, in the private sector, businesses, and civil society. So, as a result of this, we believe we have to judiciously use the available finite resources associated with the sector, including the spectrum.
Launching the Real 4G, Chief Executive Officer Orange Sierra Leone Aminata Khan said the public is guaranteed of mobility with superior speed and the satisfaction of multimedia communications with Orange 4G. Madam Aminata said the company is confident that the new service will keep subscribers informed and entertained and will also enable customers to use Orange services more efficiently. She thanked the government and the Ministry of Information and Communications for being cooperative.
We do believe that local empowerment and local development go hand in hand. Foreign investments are great, but developing local talents and training people to make sure that they reach the international standard is of a bigger importance. There is a huge potential, but the potential is being developed right now. So we are working on the right direction to make sure that in the next few years we don't say the Rwandas of Africa, or the Senegals of Africa, or the Moroccos of Africa, but we're saying the Sierra Leone of the world.
She said the company has invested over $55 million on the modernization and expansion of its network, which has led to the construction of 94 new sites across the country and the connection of 925 new localities, with thousands of Sierra Leoneans now accessing data and voice services for the first time. SLBC News, Maria Masuma reporting.
The Union of African Muslim Scholars, which was formed in 2011 with its headquarters in the Malian capital of Bamako, has established its Sierra Leone chapter. The union, as part of its activities, has ended a two-day consultative and training program for Sierra Leonean Islamic scholars. The forum was held at the headquarters of the Islamic Center for Education and Research on Circular Road. Asmiuba was there.
Islamic scholars attracted clerics from all over the country. It was meant to inform the scholars about the new Union of African Scholars, comprising former students from the Arab world. Sierra Leone has a large number of scholars from the Arab world who have returned home to impart knowledge on the Islamic population. Like in other countries, Sierra Leonean Muslim scholars have now started seeing extremist views about Islam, and this is one of the ways they want to tackle those extremist views. Vice President, Sierra Leone Muslim Missionaries Union, Sheikh Abubakar Conte, said Islamic institutions have played a great role in maintaining religious coexistence in Sierra Leone. One of the first members of the union is Dr. Ahmad Ramadan Jallo, who disclosed that the Union of African Muslim Scholars was formed in 2011 to bring scholars together. Dr. Ramadan Jallo told participants that similar fora have been held in other countries. He said one of their aims is to reduce religious extremism in Africa and convey the true teachings of Islam.
To some extent, we are somehow afraid. So it's good that we bring these institutions together and remind them that it's part of our value as Muslims, okay, to bring people together. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَاعْتَصِمُوا بِحَبْلِ اللَّهِ جَمِيعًا وَلَا تَفَرَّقُوا, okay, all tribes to the rope of Allah and do not be divided. So we don't want division, we don't want disunity amongst people, rather we want unity to be amongst our brothers and sisters who are Muslims in this country.
President, United Council of Imams, said Islamic education has played a key role in Sierra Leone's advancement. Dr. Sharif said Islam has always supported coexistence with other religions, as it calls for justice and free will for one to practice one's religion. He said Islam is a peaceful religion that came to Sierra Leone through peace. Forces Imam Lieutenant Colonel Bilal Conte said the military, just like Islam, stresses discipline and frowns at doubt by its followers or its members. Officer commanding New England Police Station, Superintendent of Police Alhaji Kelfala Bangura, said peace is priceless and must be maintained at all times, and frowned against ethnicity, which he said is creeping into religion. By having statistics of the amount of Islamic schools in the country, the scholars will now monitor these schools and their curricula in order to ensure that extremist views are not taught. For SLBC News, Asmiuba.
A public disclosure by the Ministry of Transport and Aviation's environmental and social safeguards for the implementation of the Integrated and Resilient Urban Mobility Project has been held at the Miata Conference Hall new building. According to the consulting firm CIMAT, the survey was conducted to identify the environmental and social impacts of the project during implementation. Ibrahim Samura reports.
Government, through the Ministry of Transport and Aviation, has secured funding from the World Bank to construct an ultra-modern market and transit park at the Lumley-Juba axis to address the perennial problems of congestion of traders and vehicular movement in that part of the city. It was against this backdrop that the Ministry of Transport undertook an environmental and social safeguard survey to assess the level of impact on the affected people, the environment and properties during project implementation. CIMAT Group was hired to conduct the survey. The Monitor and Evaluation Manager, Minister of Transport and Aviation, Abdul Bero Kamara, said the project is a government-initiated one and will be implemented by the Ministry of Transport under the Integrated and Resilient Urban Mobility Project. He said the World Bank provided $40 million for the project meant for the construction of the ultra-modern market and transit park. The aim, Mr. Kamara noted, is to enhance transport services, improve safe mobility for pedestrians and vehicle management, and build institutional capacity.
It's going to be like a three-story. These stories, I can tell you, on the aspect of the market, there will be like a bank, there will be a clinic, there will be like a daycare center for small kids, there will be a security post, and equally there will be store, there will be cold storage facility, and there will be office for drivers union, and the transit park as well will have a capability to like have 16 or more buses at the same time.
The Assistant Director's EPA Joseph Toure said environmental and social assessment is a requirement in the EPA Act, which states that such infrastructural project must undertake an environmental and social impact assessment. He said public disclosure is a way of ensuring compliance. Presenting their findings, the environmental manager Vanessa James and Brema Kroma CIMAT Group said although the findings indicate that environmental and social impact can be managed, but say the project will affect businesses, displacement of people, utilities, noise, disruption of traffic flow, water pollution and soil erosion.
We also recommend mitigation measures, realistic ones that can easily be implemented to ensure that if the impacts occur at all, they can be effectively managed and handled. So, for instance, I'll take just one, let's say noise. First and foremost, we are concerned with the safety of the workers. So they would have to have noise protection, those operating deals, because there's going to be some amount of demolition in the various project areas. So those operating machineries that generate a lot of noise, or even those who are hammering, doing a lot of noise generating activities, they will be required to have their hearing protection.
Madam James underscored the need for regular monitoring and evaluation in the project circle, noting that the survey resonates with the World Bank safeguards requirements and the EPA. Contributions from project beneficiaries and affected persons welcomed the project, commending government for the project, noting that upon completion, the project will help to address the perennial problems of congestion and vehicular movements. Ibrahim Samura, Freetown.
The Independent Police Complaints Board has signed an MOU with the Sierra Leone Police to foster the operations of the Independent Police Complaints Board. The signing ceremony took place at the Sierra Leone Police Headquarters on George Street in Freetown. Daphne Kibama-Macaulay reports.
The initiative by the Independent Police Complaints Board to have a common understanding with the police is to foster a mutual relationship between the two entities. The signing of the Memorandum of Understanding is a provision by regulations of the IPCB which was established by the Police Council. The document was drafted in 2015 but was awaiting approval by the necessary parties. Chair of the Independent Police Complaints Board, Richard Freeman, said their regulations gave them the mandate to investigate and advise the police if and when necessary.
It is with these objectives in mind that the IPCB has, with due consultations with NDAs and development partners, worked out the guidelines by which the two institutions can cooperate and work together for a better police service delivery to the nation. The MOU, when signed, will foster a win-win operational system for the IPCB and the SLP. Let us bear in mind that Section 7 of the IPCB regulations mandates the board to cooperate with anybody or body in performance of its functions. Therefore, the signing of this MOU is not by chance, but by provisions of the regulations established by the Police Council.
Inspector General of Police Dr. Richard Moigwe said the police has been resourceful since the establishment of the IPCB.
As Sierra Leone Police, we are happy for the establishment of the IPCB, and that is why we played a tremendous role in the creation, in the establishment. So the MOU, yes, is to formalize the audit trail to be there with regards to our functional relationship. But like I said, we have been supporting, working with the IPCB even without formal MOU. But yes, it's better late than never. So we want to thank you for taking time to come with your team.
He thanks the IPCB for their efforts and promised to give them support and maintain communications between the two entities. For SLBC News, Daphne Kibama-Macaulay reporting.
Action Aid Sierra Leone has held a session on open information which captured the presentation of its plans and budget for 2019. The session, which was held at the Hill Valley Hotel in Freetown, was to demonstrate accountability and transparency of their projects at all levels. Joseph Toure witnessed the event.
Over the years, concerns have been raised by many citizens on issues surrounding accountability and transparency of non-governmental and civil society organizations in implementing their project. Timely flow of information in accessible language, form and plan is essential for ensuring accountability, trust and good performance. Executive Director, Action Aid Sierra Leone, Mohamed Silla, said they believe in accountability and transparency as part of their development strategies. He registered that accountability and transparency is a two-way process which he noted should be emulated by CSOs and NGOs.
We also believe that people living in poverty must be able to hold us as an organization in Sierra Leone accountable for the work we do, how we do it, and our positive achievements as well as our failures. The management of resources which are entrusted to us by donors on behalf of the people of Sierra Leone and even our supporters also require us to be accountable.
Mr. Silla added they are open to scrutiny by government and their beneficiaries, stating that accountability should not be limited to donors. Monitoring and Evaluation Manager, Action Aid Sierra Leone, Valneri Mansare, in her presentation of their 2019 plan and budget, noted that they maintain open information policy.
This is of a total budget allocation for our LRPs of 5,496,663,534 euros. So for the period of 5 years, Action Aid Sierra Leone has prioritized 3 thematic areas focusing on 7 key issues. Our first priority is engaging the structural causes of violence against women and marginalized girls and promote the recognition, reduction, and redistribution of unpaid care work for economic justice.
She noted that the budget for 2019 includes 65% goes towards programs, 6% to fundraising, 6% to governance, and 23% to support units. Deputy Commissioner Anti-Corruption Commission Shirley Davis stated that what Action Aid has done is a yardstick which other CSOs should follow. He noted allegations of misappropriation of funds and corruption-related cases against CSOs have been heard over the years. Mr. Davis said they hope to see the fruitful outcome of the budget on the lives of the beneficiaries by next year. Various speakers called on Action Aid to increase the percentage of women in implementing their projects, including welfare issues. Action Aid, since 1988, has made tremendous efforts to mitigate the spate of poverty in the country through the implementation of various projects that center on human capital development. They now operate in 182 communities in the country. For SLBC News, Joseph Ture, Freetown.
3 days to the Students' Union elections at Funabe College, the government of Sierra Leone, through the Ministry of Technical and Higher Education, has in a letter advised the Vice-Chancellor and Principal of the University of Sierra Leone to put a hold on the elections until after their examinations. Esther Marie Samura reports.
This is usually the scene whenever there is a student union election. Students turn out in large numbers campaigning for their candidates or candidates who are vying for different positions on campus. On Wednesday, some students who are showing their support to Mohamed Ouiba, one of the presidential candidates, were in large numbers campaigning for him. According to the students, Wednesday, 27th March is campaign day for them, and we are not notified by the college administration about the postponement of the elections. In a letter addressed to the Vice-Chancellor by the government of Sierra Leone through the Ministry of Technical and Higher Education on the 26th of March, it was advised that all elections are to be put on hold until after the examination. Students were in a state of shock to see the presence of police who were seen to be everywhere the students were campaigning. In a press release issued by the Sierra Leone Police, their presence on campus is to ensure students continue with their exams peacefully without any interruption. Local Unit Commander of Mountain Division, Usman Amara, said they will continue to provide adequate security for all the students until after the examinations.
And the administration informed us that they had said that they said that the environment is still well secure, so that there will be peace for the conduct of the election.
Warden of Students Canon Jenabok confirmed to SLBC on the phone that they will go by the press release issued by the government and hold the elections after the examinations. According to research, it is important for students to experience leadership opportunities during their schooling to learn the art of building relationships within teams, achieving tasks effectively, and working as a team in the interest of the student. Esther Marie Samoa, SLBC.
Coming up next is the African news. An appeal court in Chad has dismissed the case brought by lawyers to have access to social media sites restored. The sites were blocked exactly a year ago following a national conference which recommended changes to the constitution to allow President Idriss Déby to remain in power until 2033. Critics had used social media to organize anti-government protests. The sites that have been blocked include Facebook, Twitter and WhatsApp. The government says the ban has been imposed for security reasons. A former French intelligence officer linked to an assassination plot against an opponent of Congo-Brazzaville's president has been found shot dead. Daniel Forestier, who was found with 5 bullet wounds to the head and heart in a remote car park on the shores of Lake Geneva. In September, he and a former French intelligence colleague were charged with plotting to kill General Ferdinand Imbao, the former head of Congo's presidential guard. French police say they are treating Mr. Forestier's killing as a professional hit. The armed forces of Malta have taken control of a ship that had been hijacked by migrants and brought it into the island's main port. The military says a special operations unit boarded the merchant vessel, the El Thibu 1. Police will now conduct an investigation. Malta's Prime Minister Joseph Muscat has pledged that all international rules will be followed. The migrants, just over 100 in number, and which include women and children, had been rescued by the vessel off the Libyan coast on Tuesday night. But the fare had been taken back to Libya, and some of them seized control of the ship from its captain. And now for some sports news. Gunnar Solskjaer has been appointed as Manchester United's manager on a 3-year deal. Solskjaer was appointed as interim boss in December following the sacking of Jose Mourinho. According to a BBC report, Manchester United was originally going to wait until the summer to announce their new boss, but have confirmed Solskjaer will continue beyond the end of the season this morning in a statement on the website. He has confirmed to continue moving the club forward.
Truly an honour, and I think everyone knows how I've spoke about it the last few months anyway, that this is the dream job for any football interested man, especially anyone who's been involved in Man United, being given the opportunity now to move the club forward with all the potential there is. It's fantastic, truly. Yeah, it's good.
Coming up next in entertainment, in Sierra Leone, young talented artists are now taking the center stage to ensure that the music industry is promoted in the country. One such young star is Molai Mose Kamara, popularly known as Big Moss, who is an R&B and zouk singer. He has decided to premiere his musical video titled Till Eternity, and the 7-year-old Ugandan rapper has been asked by the Ugandan Youth Minister to stop doing music or get arrested. For more on this, let's now join our entertainment desk with Mohamed Kimilam Bangura and Millicent Lunge.
In Sierra Leone, young talented artists are now taking the center stage to ensure that the music industry is promoted in the country. Sierra Leone musicians are sometimes considered drop out. The younger stars are now trying to debunk that idea as a fallacy. One shot young star is Molai Mose Kamara, popularly known as Big Mose, who is an R&B and zouk singer. Big Mose's nickname came because of his ambition in doing big things. He attended the Christchurch Primary School and Albert Academy before proceeding to Maburuka Secondary School. Later entered Fabe College, where he acquired a degree in economics. Big Mose started his musical career when he was in boarding home in Maburuka, where he was miming different international songs. Big Mose said his passion to become a musician was like a dream, though he knew he has the talent. In 2017, he came into active music and recorded his first song titled Natural Mistake. He was in final year in university. He competed in the Sing with Jean Peters singing competition, emerged as the winner of the competition, earning a cash prize of 30 million yuans and a record label with an album. Winning the competition, according to him, was not an easy task, as he had to sing songs given to him by the judges, especially songs that he was not used to. But at the end, he won the reality show. He said his mentors are Cayman Jimmy B. Emerson and the international star Chris Brown. His genre of music as Zouk, R&B, Afrobeat was recently he plays R&B, stressed that musicians should start singing songs that people should appreciate worldwide. Big Moz has decided to premiere his musical video titled Till Eternity, which talks about two lovers in deep relationship vowing to love each other till death.
She'll be mine and I'll be yours till eternity.
Well, Till Eternity is a touching love story. It's telling the story of two people who eventually fell in love, but then there's one, because falling in love comes in two ways. There's one in which probably the guy is the one who's more interested in the relationship like that, but then for me, I was the one who was more interested in the relationship.
A call on the general public to respect Salino musicians and to divert from the thought that musicians are drop out. He said the musicians in other hands should refrain from all forms of violence and negative songs. He asked the government to give full support to the entertainment industry, as other countries are very supportive towards their artists. Patrick Seyonjo, whose popular name is called Fresh Kid, is a Ugandan 7-year-old rapper who has been asked by the Ugandan Youth Minister Florence Nikawala to stop doing music or get arrested. The Youth Minister has made it clear that the 7-year-old should quit rapping, go to school full-time, or face the consequence of being taken to juvenile prison, after allegation that Fresh Kid was not attending school and could perform late at night while his age group are studying, a move the Youth Minister considered as child labor. The Constitution clearly states that no one under the age of 18 is allowed to work. Therefore, Fresh Kid should not be working, rather be in school. Anyone found aiding his musical career will have to face the full law, said the minister. Francis Kamuga, Fresh Kid's manager, however, refuted the claims, stating that the 7-year-old was indeed attending school. Speaking to Entertainment Press, Francis says Fresh Kid only perform over the weekend and does not get paid for it, therefore it shouldn't be considered as work. His manager said cover Fresh Kid in a rural village miming some songs, brought him to the city and started paying his school fees. There are mixed feelings taken by the Uganda Youth Minister, as some Ugandans are saying that they want to deprive the ability and talent of Fresh Kid.
And now to end news hour, a quick look at the main points. State Council have continued to lead witnesses in the ongoing commissions of inquiry, and the Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation has bagged awards for outstanding media contribution to national development. That's the end of the news from the SLBC. On behalf of the news team, I am Kojo Kwafo. Good night.